Skills USA 101 Tips for Being a Successful Chapter. This is presented by your 2023-2024 New Jersey Region Vice Presidents.
Hi, my name is Adia Halla, and I'm the Northern Region Vice President.
My name is Arnav Khanna, and I'm the Central Region Vice President.
And my name is Jennifer Levy, and I am the Southern Region Vice President.
So the key to any club and any organization in general is gaining membership. So let's see how you can do that with your own individual Skills USA chapter. So the most important thing for members is kind of understanding what the club is about. So it's essential that every chapter holds an information session where prospective and recurring and loyal members can kind of gauge what their chapter will be looking like for the upcoming year and what kind of goals and activities happen in a Skills USA chapter. So by holding an information session just to provide prospective members and recurring members an idea of what the club is, it provides everyone a good idea of what they're signing themselves up for. Next, you want to make sure that you market the organization effectively. So a couple examples of this is having flyers posted up around the school, having social media posts kind of marketing your chapter's activities and the organization itself, and announcing meeting dates or times during lunch periods or periods where large bodies of students are gathered, just so the maximum amount of people can hear when these meetings are being held and where they're being held. So an important aspect to holding these meetings or holding any Skills USA chapter membership meetings in general are conducting training workshops. So these training workshops can essentially be with guest speakers or industry professionals where CTE students will get individualized or unique experiences with these industry professionals, and this will kind of incentivize them to attend these meetings. So by having training workshops, they'll know they're not going into their competition blind, and they have some sort of experience within their industry and within their competition as well. Lastly, you also want to make sure that you collaborate with teachers in the skill trade. So not only are you collaborating with the students by having these training workshops, but you're also making sure that the teachers are marketing this organization as well within their own academy and workshop classes. So that way, as Skills USA is a CTE organization, the CTE classes are also being implemented and collaborated with the organization outside of school. So you also want to make sure that incentives are added to students who recruit members. So this way, students aren't just seeing recruiting members as some type of thing that they don't really have to do, but instead, if they have some sort of incentive, such as a prize for a student that recruits the most members, they kind of want to do this and go out of their way to make sure more members join the club outside of school.
So now that we have gained members, let's talk about chapter officers. Skills USA is the largest student-run organization, and this should be reflected on in your chapter. So chapter officers are student leaders who represent your chapter and its members. These students are often hardworking, resilient, and overall well-rounded leaders. And having this leadership opportunity can help these students blossom in their personal and workplace skills, which we'll hear about later when we learn about the framework. So the simplest way to gain your chapter officers is through an election. Have each officer, potential officer, give a little speech, and the other Skills USA members can vote on who they want to represent their chapter. Typically, the positions for chapter officers include president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, reporter, historian, and parliamentarian. So now that we have our chapter officers, let's talk about running meetings. Everyone has been to a meeting where chaos ensues. Nothing gets done, even though there is so much that needs to get done. So having a well-run meeting can be the difference between a successful and unsuccessful chapter. So the decision-making process can be made simplified through parliamentary procedure. Parliamentary procedure is a concept outlined in Robert's Rules of Order, and this is basically to provide a chance for every member to speak on whatever decision we're making. So to keep our meetings on track, you usually follow an agenda. And parliamentary procedure can be a little bit difficult of a concept to understand, especially for newer chapter members or anybody that is unfamiliar with it. So being able to modify parliamentary procedure in a way to best fit your chapter is what makes it so great. So you want to hold a general membership meeting for all your Skills USA members about once a month. This is for everyone that is enrolled in your Skills USA chapter. And this is a great way to catch everyone up on some of the things that may be happening, such as competitions, leadership trainings, or any other community service or fundraising events happening. With smaller groups, such as an elected officers or committees, they could meet around every week or 2 weeks in order to get things done efficiently.
So Jen mentioned the Skills USA framework previously, but what essentially is the framework? So the framework has three main components: personal skills, technical skills grounded in academics, and workplace skills. And all of these illustrate how students fulfill the mission of the organization. So these help Skills USA members articulate what skills they have already learned by putting their skills into practice. And these three main components and all of the essential elements you will see throughout this presentation under these components were carefully curated through a research survey conducted by over 1,000 employers, where they noticed the skills that were lacking the most in the workforce, and they kind of wanted to see more of that in the upcoming workforce. So now Skills USA makes sure that all of our competition activities and events within every chapter are grounded in these skills. So the first component is personal skills, and the essential elements under these are listed below. And the personal skills are abilities that help people positively interact with one another. So you can kind of think of these as soft skills or people skills, and in general, they're skills that allow people to work with other people. And additionally, these personal skills also help each individual work on themselves as a worker and as a person in the workforce to make sure that things are constantly getting done and that the things that are getting done to the best of their ability. Personal skills are very helpful and necessary, not just in the workforce, but also in everyday life, where you kind of see that they help you in interacting with other people and just conducting life in general. So next, we have technical skills. So technical skills are essentially the specialized knowledge and expertise that's required to perform certain tasks that are required in the workforce. So a lot of job-specific skills, such as in industries such as the IT industry, business administration, health industries, and education industries, all require some knowledge of technical skills. And this is because you need to know how to use certain types of technology, certain types of equipment for these specific jobs, and you'll notice that technical skills are kind of required for every specific industry, but you need to know a different type of technical skill for every industry, and that's also specific to the industry that you want to pursue. And lastly, we have workplace skills. So workplace skills are essentially the personal skills that you need to cultivate for being effective in the workplace. So as I said before, personal skills are kind of soft skills, but in order to make sure that these soft skills are working well, you need to make sure that they're working well in the workforce. So this is essentially working with other people, seeing how you work in a group dynamic, and kind of analyzing your position in a group of people and seeing how your position will affect other people's positions as well. And these workplace skills, really also similar to the personal skills, can come in handy kind of in any setting or any workplace in general, because they are skills that you kind of take with you throughout not just being in the organization, but throughout your life.
So now that we've learned about the Skills USA framework and the specific skills that Skills USA student members should be learning throughout their time, we'll learn about the Skills USA program of work. The program of work is basically an outline for what a chapter should be doing throughout the year. So this can be done in your first chapter officer meeting and planning out what activities you want to do throughout the year. And this should be the implementation of your framework. So in these activities that you're going to do throughout the year, you want to make sure that you're including your personal, technical, and workplace skills. So the 6 categories of the program of work is workplace experiences, partner and alumni engagement, leadership development, advocacy and marketing, financial management, and community engagement.
So first, we're going to talk about advocacy and marketing. The goal of this component of the program of work is to promote chapter and CTE programs, public relationship initiatives, and experiences to help students build social responsibility. Like every other component of the program of work, it builds career-ready students in multiple ways, including promoting Skills USA and identifying characteristics of effective marketing. And there are many ways your local chapter can get involved with this component of the program of work, including participation in Skills USA Week in February or delivering a presentation to the local school board. Next, we have financial management. The goal of this part of the program of work is to develop financial literacy and entrepreneurship skills. through relevant work experience, project management, and chapter fundraising. It also builds career-ready students by working efficiently and effectively within a budget or managing personal finances effectively. Even though it may be hard for students to get involved with school and local chapter finances, there are other ways that students can get involved through other activities, including holding chapter fundraisers or engaging students in the creation of personal budgets. Next, we have workplace experiences. The goal of this part of the program of work is to encourage participation in career exploration, planning, and work-based learning opportunities. It also builds career-ready students by gaining relevant work experience in the workforce and developing job-seeking skills. Some ways local students and chapters can get involved with workplace experiences is by touring a local industry or holding a resume and mock interview day.
So next up, we have our community engagement, and this can simply be thought of as your community service activities. So with this component, you want to assess the community needs and develop lifelong partnerships. So students in this category will be able to create a heart of service. They should find their passion for community service and being able to give back to their community. Some examples of this could be culinary students hosting a teacher appreciation breakfast, or automotive students performing oil changes for military families. No matter what it is, you are helping your students become responsible community members and overall better career-ready workers day one. We have our leadership development category, and this is the one where most people think of SkillsUSA about. You want to develop your students to become world-class workers and leaders. So by establishing interpersonal relationships and individual and team development, you're helping these students to foster an environment where they can communicate vision, inspire each others to reach a common goal, and properly work within a team and empower them and equip them to whatever needs to be met. So some activities that can help encourage students in the leadership development could be conducting a leadership workshop for all of the members, attending a fall leadership conference, or even hosting a chapter officer retreat. And finally, we have partner and alumni engagement. Alumni is often the forefront of organizations, and that is no different for SkillsUSA. By engaging former members, parents, advisory committees, administrators, and anyone else who has been involved in SkillsUSA, it helps them to connect with the new generation of SkillsUSA as well as relating to the past. So you can use these former SkillsUSA members as mentors. Some other ways you could help involve a partner and alumni engagement could be through recognizing contributions of partners and alumni, as well as hosting advisory committee meetings. So maybe that could be as simple as giving a shout out to some of the community partners in the community that has helped your chapter in succeeding.
And lastly, now that we've seen how you can apply the framework at your chapter level to the program of work, how can you apply the program of work to the Chapter Excellence Program? So the Chapter Excellence Program is the best way to build a successful SkillsUSA chapter. By recognizing achievement relating to the application of the SkillsUSA framework and program of work, SkillsUSA chapters can get more involved in their community and build stronger and leader students. So the first two levels of the Chapter Excellence Program are Quality Chapter and Chapter of Distinction. The Chapter Distinction is divided into Gold, Silver, and Bronze, and these are recognized at the state level. The third and highest level is the Model of Excellence, which is recognized at the national level at the National Leadership and Skills Conference. These levels are all designed to give chapters a benchmark for success and future improvement that they can build on. And this creates stronger chapters and, more importantly, better prepared students. So how can you become a quality chapter? So this is the first level for achieving essential standards of excellence. Basic information like paying membership dues and electing local officers are important to get started. But more importantly, you need to exhibit the essential elements at your local chapter level. And this can be through chapter activities that demonstrate components of the program of work. How about the next steps? How can you become a Chapter of Distinction and Model of Excellence chapter? So some of these requirements include significant school membership, which could be over 70%, participation in a fall leadership conference, or participation in your state championships. And you would build upon the previous quality chapter requirements by providing detailed descriptions of your activities that follow the essential elements and program of work. This would include SMART goals for all of your chapter activities and plans of action for each based on the essential elements and program of work components that each activity follows.
Thank you for listening to our presentation on how to run a successful SkillsUSA chapter. Again, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to email us. I am your Northern Region Vice President, Adiahala.
I'm the Central Region Vice President, Arnav Khanna.
And I'm your Southern Region Vice President, Jennifer Levy. Thank you for listening.
And we all look forward to working with you this upcoming year.